Hey guys, and welcome to the video. We're going to be discussing Stray, the delightful cat video game, getting a big screen movie adaptation, 2 nursery rhyme horrors, including 3 Blind Mice and Mary Had a Little Lamb, and also, according to James Gunn, there is no one in charge of MCU continuity. So, let's make like a cat and creep our way into this movie news. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and stay up to date with all the movie news we have going on around here, guys. So guys, we're going to jump into this movieweb.com article. Stray is getting a big screen adaptation as hit video game transitions from console to cinema. The ultra-fun cat-centric game, Stray, is making its way to the silver screen. Yeah guys, so it looks like Hollywood continues to adapt games into big movies, which is kind of cool. They haven't always had the best track record when it comes to video game adaptations, but I played Stray myself. It's a fun little game that came out on the PS5. You get to walk around as a little cat in a sort of dystopian city, and I'm very, very curious to see what they're going to do with the movie. So let's jump into the article, guys, and see what it has to say. In a constantly evolving world of entertainment, game-to-film adaptations have found a significant niche, bringing exhilarating universes explored on consoles to big screens. In the midst of this revolution, a feline protagonist and lead of a cyber dystopian adventure game, Stray, is set to grace the cinema halls, blurring the line between two forms of interactive entertainment. The once virtual alleyways of decaying cyber city, enlivened with only the gleam of neon lights, are ready to unveil the mysteries on celluloid, ushering in an exciting confluence of gaming and cinematic narratives. Annapurna Animation, a segment of Annapurna that specializes in breathing life into animated films, is at the helm of this ambitious project. The move seems to echo the trajectory of its sister company, Annapurna Interactive, which previously brought Stray into the gaming limelight. Nick Bruno, the visionary who previously charmed audiences with Nimona on Netflix, is donning the director's cap once again to navigate us through this futuristic tale, which promises an amalgamation of suspense, adventure, and a unique portrayal of a world seen through the eyes of a cat. Robert Baird, the lead of Annapurna Animation, explained how they plan to make the adaptation work. He goes on to say, quote, "This is a game that's all about what makes us human, and there's no humans in it. It's a buddy comedy about a cat and a robot, and there's such a hilarious dynamic. So there's comedy inherent in this, but there's not one human being in this movie. I think it's one of the reasons why the game was so incredibly popular, that you're seeing the world through the point of view of an adorable cat. How did they pull that off? And how are we going to pull that off in the movie? We will, even though sometimes it feels impossible, but we know that the essence of the game and the key to telling the story." The intriguing venture will witness Julie Zachary, a Blue Sky Animation Studios orchestrating the animation production. A seasoned veteran, having served a producer on Nimona, Zachary is gearing up to craft a universe where the sleek feline protagonist maneuvers the challenge of a world overrun by robots, embodying a delightful blend of quintessential cat quirks interspersed with moments of gravity-defying action and mystery-unraveling puzzles. At the core of this adaptation lies the riveting journey of a cat in a narrative that transfixed gamers since its initial release, making its debut on platforms such as PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC before finding its way to Xbox. Stray quickly carved out a niche for itself. It's no surprise that the game received an enthusiastic nod from PlayStation Plus subscribers, with its day one release being a rarity, a testament to its anticipated success. Its immersive gameplay, coupled with vibrant community echo and positivity, made it a prime candidate for innovative adaptation, an aspect further accentuated by its impressive score hovering around 83 on Metacritic and making its widespread acclaim. In delving deeper into the world of Stray, one finds itself navigating neon-lit alleyways teeming with mysteries, threats, and curious droids. A preview of the game encapsulates this journey aptly, painting a vivid picture of an adventure laden with challenges that beckons players, non-viewers, to explore the depths of cities marred by decay yet brimming with secrets. So guys, with that done, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is nursery rhyme horror movies. So guys, we're going to jump into this article here from bloodydisgusting.com. 3 Blind Mice trailer, another nursery rhyme gets a horror treatment this Halloween. Yeah guys, so the Halloween festive season is coming up quick, and it looks like the trend is now turning nursery rhymes into horror movies. I think it's quite a unique idea. It's kind of crazy and sounds silly on the surface, but even if these movies turned out to be really, really bad, it's still going to be enjoyable to a point, because I mean, turning a nursery rhyme into a horror film, what a kind of unique idea. Much like that Pooh, Blood and Honey film that came out recently, that was real bad, but it was just really funny to see a movie based on Winnie the Pooh, which was a horror film. But yeah, let's see what this article has to say. So 2 classic nursery rhymes got the horror movie makeovers, with 3 Blind Mice and Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary Had a Little Lamb as a horror movie. Okay. This Halloween, we recently shared the trailer for Little Lamb, which we will go into in a second, guys, after we've had a look at this movie. Now we've got a trailer for Three Blind Mice horror movie, a creature feature that Uncorked Entertainment brings to digital and DVD on October 17th, 2023. So it comes out on October 17th, guys, for those of you who are interested. Watch the trailer below and see how they run, see how they kill. In director Pierre B's movie, Abby is going cold turkey. Her family has taken her to a cabin in the woods so she can be away from the city and all of her troubles. And then the movie line kind of quote, however little do they know, the Three Blind Mice is more than just a fairy tale. They may be next on the menu. Could you imagine, of all the ways you could die in the world, you get eaten by some real life Three Blind Mice? What a way to go. Releasing shortly after our nursery rhyme turned horror film My Little Lamb, Three Blind Mice guarantees horror fans some bloody, disturbing, and very entertainment pre-Halloween entertainment, said Keith Leopard. President Uncorked Entertainment, Pierre B, and his talented cast deliver a title that's bound to be extremely popular. Yeah, I think it's just popular. It would be popular just because of the unique kind of take on a nursery rhyme horror film, sorry, but like that just piques anybody who's remotely interested in horror movies. That would just pique your interest right on the surface. So guys, I'm not going to go through the trailer. The trailer is really, really dark. I've had to skip through it quickly before I started this video. You can't really see a lot on the trailer by skipping through it. They've got some still images below, so we'll go and have a look at the still images because it'll be better for you guys. So let's scroll down. We've got what appears to be one of the blind mice here. It looks more like a goblin from like Lord of the Rings or something, if you ask me. He's obviously coming down some sort of hallway, scraping his long fingertips across the wall. That's kind of reminiscent of what Freddy Krueger used to do, you know, when he used to brush his fingers across, pipes and stuff, like the claw fingers, the knife fingers, sorry. One of the main cast here, obviously covered in blood. Someone's been killed or she's been attacked by the blind mice. Another picture of a cast member covered in blood. It's always good to see, guys. If you want a still image from a horror film, cover someone in blood, stick them in front of a camera. I mean, it is what it is. And another kind of picture of a female protagonist looking rather risque, I might say, but that always works in most horror films. So, and then we've got the actual official poster here, guys. Three blind mice. See how they run, see how they kill. And then this is supposed to be the Three Blind Mice here, I'm assuming. But like I say, guys, they look more like goblins to me than mice. They don't seem to have tails or anything, or like, yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, there's nothing more to the article than that, guys. It's literally just kind of announcing this movie here called Three Blind Mice as a horror film. It's kind of corny, kind of crazy, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Even if it's really bad, I think it'll be to the point that it's so bad it'll be fun. So. But let's go over and have a quick look at the Mary Had a Little Lamb horror film as well. So guys, hopping over to this article here about Mary Had a Little Lamb, also on Bloody Disgusting. Nursery Rhyme becomes a bloody slasher movie this October. So yeah, here's the image, guys, of someone wearing a lamb head. It appears, and like, this looks so fun, guys. I'm so going to be watching this Halloween, guys. Even if it's, like I say, if it's really, really bad, it's going to be something that's going to be fun, unique, a fresh premise of a Nursery Rhyme horror film. Much like the one we just looked at in the Three Blind Mice. So, the classic Nursery Rhyme gets the horror treatment. Mary Had a Little Lamb, an upcoming slasher movie that's set to release this Halloween from Uncorked Entertainment. So, it's the same company making both movies, guys. Directed by visual effects artist and animator Jason Arbor from Meg 2 The Trench. Mary Had a Little Lamb will be released on digital and DVD October 3rd. So, October 3rd, guys, if you're interested in watching it, while you wait, watch the official trailer below. So, the synopsis here. A radio host and a crew set out to discover the truth behind some disappearances from a true crime show. They will soon learn that there is far more to discover when they meet Mary and her lamb, who will make it out alive of this house of horrors. Campy and fun with terrific special and visual effects, we expect Mary Had a Little Lamb will be one of the most popular titles on the schedule this quarter, said Keith Leopard, president of Uncorked. We can't wait to hear what audience think of this super fun horror film. Yeah, like I was just saying about the Three Blind Mice, guys, any person who's remotely interested in horror, this would just pique your interest. I mean, Mary Had a Little Lamb as a horror film, like what? Like you just watch it just for the curiosity factor, if anything else. But yeah, guys, so like I said with the previous trailer, it's kind of dark. We can skip through it a little bit. I'm not sure how much you're going to see because it's quite dark and it doesn't show much of the lamb, unfortunately. but we can go through it quickly, see if we can see anything. I don't think there's much to see, really. So there's some sort of lamb head there. And then we've got the lamb here, or the lamb guy, whatever it is, chasing someone out of a house, or by the look of it. She's running for it. They never really get away. There's always that horror trope when they're running away from the killer and they fall over. You know, they always have to stumble over. There he is, chasing someone through the woods. And here he comes, breaks into the house. Looks like he's holding an axe or something. He's about to chop someone down. But yeah, let's go have a look at the still images. So look at these images here, guys. Oh, man, look at this. This looks crazy. So you just got this guy with a big lamb head just standing behind her again with a big, it looks like a big pickaxe of some sort. And she's about to get chopped up. It looks super fun, guys. And here's a better close-up shot of the lamb. Yeah, super cool. I'm assuming it's a mask rather than like a hybrid human type thing. I'm not really sure. It doesn't specify in this article, but I'm assuming it's a mask. So, its fleece was as red as blood. Yeah, guys, this just looks so fun. Oh, man. Can't wait to see it. Mary had a little lamb. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are, guys. So, it just piqued my interest, these two nursery rhyme horror films. I thought it was something different, something I hadn't seen before. I'm quite a big horror fan, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing this, guys. So, October 3rd, if you're interested, guys. And let's move on to our last topic, which is continuity issues within the Avengers and Marvel timeline. So, guys, moving on to our last topic. James Gunn reveals a major problem with Marvel's post-Endgame MCU timeline. In the wake of Avengers Endgame, the MCU timeline has only been more confusing, and director James Gunn may have revealed exactly why. So this article here comes from ScreenRant.com, guys. So, director James Gunn appears to have revealed why the timeline for the Marvel Cinematic Universe has become more confusing in the wake of 2019's Avengers Endgame. Over the last 15 years, Marvel Studio has created the most expansive and successful superhero movie franchise ever. And while it has been great to watch the stories of the Marvel comics unfold in live action, this comes with a fair share of issues. Most significantly, there have often been confusion about when certain projects take place in the MCU's timeline, which was only exacerbated by the major time jump in Avengers Endgame, but it may have been revealed that there are deeper problems behind the scenes at Marvel Studios. Yeah, guys, I mean, even for myself as a casual Marvel fan, I do find myself getting confused sometimes with different projects. It's like a different project comes out on Disney Plus, and I find myself having to go online and do a bit of homework. Like, when does this streaming show take place? What events take place and what timelines, and it does get a bit confusing. That's the one major downfall with the shared cinematic universe, is the fact that when it gets to a certain point, it becomes so convoluted that the casual audience get really, really kind of confused as to when different events are taking place and sort of the continuity of the whole cinematic universe. So, during an exchange on Threads, Guardian of the Galaxy director James Gunn, co-CEO of DC Studios, was asked whether DC Studios has an in-house timeline keeper overseeing the continuity of the DC universe. After noting that the entire team is taking charge to make sure the timeline is clear, Gunn mentioned that, quote, "If that's a position at Marvel, I do not know who that person is," noting that he's never discussed anything with them. It could have been assumed that Marvel Studios does have a timeline keeper, as they would ensure that the massive franchise keeps to its continuity, but Gunn's comments suggest this isn't the case. Read Gunn's full response below. So James Gunn goes on to say, quote, "Me and the rest of the team, if that's a position at Marvel, I do not know who that person is. I have never discussed anything with them. But I guess that's why I think that Volume 3 is now, and everyone keeps saying 2030 or something. I already thought I was pushing the limits of Grandpa still being alive." So it's quite worrying that James Gunn, obviously he's worked over at Marvel for a long period of time doing the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he's come out saying that there seems to be no person in charge of the continuity aspect of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He didn't speak to anybody who seems to be keeping the cinematic universe cohesive and together and making sure that everything flows as one overarching narrative. And that could be the problem that we're seeing with the latest phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Obviously, post-Endgame, it's been kind of all over the place. There's been no defining kind of narrative, or nobody, one character has been in charge like they were in the earlier parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But anyways, so why Marvel's post-Endgame MCU timeline is so confusing. Yeah, even for myself, guys, like I said, a streaming show comes out or a movie comes out and I have to kind of Google, when does this take place? Who's in it? Where does this character come from? Who's this? Who's that? And yeah, for myself, even I get a bit confused. So the fact that James Gunn never spoke to a timeline keeper at Marvel Studios suggests the position doesn't exist, as he worked with the company for almost a decade and over at least 4 projects between 2014's Guardian of the Galaxy and 2023's Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3. Though this could also be because he worked on a more self-contained series. That said, if there's nobody keeping track of the MCU's timeline at Marvel Studios, this could explain the issues that have arisen over the years. Most notably, this includes the confusing 8 years later title card in Spider-Man Homecoming, the mention of Lady Thor in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, before Jane Foster wields Mjolnir. I gotta say that right. Before Jane Foster wields Mjolnir, and a disputed amount of time between Phase 1's projects. So, Marvel Studios' timeline problems were only heightened in the wake of Avengers Endgame, as the MCU took a time jump 5 years into the future. This meant that the majority of 2009's Endgame was actually set in 2023, and the current continuity of the MCU seems to be taking place in 2025 to 2026, though this is still unclear. Whereas pre-Endgame projects mostly took place in the years which they were released, this has become almost impossible to follow in the post-Endgame MCU. The new official timeline book for the Marvel Cinematic Universe may clear up some of these moments, but Gunn's comments potentially shed light on why they need further explanation in the first place. Yeah, this is the thing, guys. When you get to a certain point, they did it in the comics. You get to a certain point where a shared overarching narrative from loads of different comics or loads of different individual projects, it becomes so convoluted that the casual audience cannot keep up with what's going on. So you have to sort of smash it all back down, soft reboot it, or just, completely reboot it altogether. And there has been murmurings over the last few months saying about the potential for the MCU to do a reboot, whether it's a soft reboot or a hard reboot, because it's coming to the point now where it's getting really, really convoluted and the audience are beginning to struggle to keep up with what's going on, not to mention the decline in quality as well. But yeah, guys, so that's all the movie news we have for today. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'd love to hear what you have to say, so jump in the comment section before you go, and I will see you soon.